Okay class, now Paul Fusau will tell us all what he did yesterday when he went with his dad to take your children to work day.
Thank you, Miss Markowitz. Yesterday I went with my dad down to Hostas Community College. The student body there is pretty pathetic on a whole. Anyway, we got there about 3 hours late because Pete got coffee.
Pete got coffee. What does that even mean?
Pete is a guy who works with my dad, and get coffee is code talk for who is going to punch everyone in at work every day. My dad and his co-workers all have copies of each other's ID cards, that way only one of them has to be on time for work each day. Anyway, before we got to work we stopped off for free donuts at Dunkin' Donuts, because everybody who works there hates the owner, so they give everything away for free.
That is horrible.
It wasn't for me. I ate 4 donuts and 2 bagels before we got to his job, so by the time we got to his job I had to take a wicked dump.
I think you could have left that part out of the story.
But it's important, because when I got into the bathroom there was shit all over the walls and floor, which could only mean one thing: Ralph the painter had shit his pants again. I had to go all the way up to the 5th floor to use the bathroom.
And this is relevant because?
By the time I got back downstairs my dad had loaded up a sack filled with tools for me to take to the car.
Why didn't he just take them himself?
Because he was stealing them, you dolt. They started getting suspicious when he kept ordering left-handed tools, since he is the only left-handed person in the shop, so he figured nobody would notice if he started taking them, so they put him under heavy surveillance.
And what if you got caught?
I was supposed to say they were a bag of wood chips, and that I like to glue wood chips together to make things. So anyway, after I put the tools into his car I noticed Hans Schuett's car was right next to my dad's.
Who is Hans Schuett?
My dad's arch nemesis at work. My dad and him get into fist fights all the time, and he got sent to anger management because of it. So anyway, I see Hans's car and slash his tires as usual.
Did your dad find out what you did?
Of course. He was so proud of me that he took me out for ice cream.
That's ridiculous.
Well, not actually out. We went to the lunchroom, since he has the keys to everything, and stole some Klondike bars from the vending machine, and when I was done eating them, I was able to just throw the wrappers on the floor, since his stable of college whores have to clean the shop at the end of each day.
You cannot be serious.
Yes, I am. Every year he is allowed to hire 10 students to work in the shop for the work-study program, and in 15 years he has never hired a man.
Did he at least show you what he does when he is actually working?
Well, he spent a large portion of the day using college supplies to make snake cages for his snakes at home, until his slave driver of a boss told him he had to change all of the lights on the top floor, so he paid me $3 to do it myself, and took a nap.
He is setting a horrible example for you.
It was a wise business decision on his part. Besides, they don't pay him enough at work anyway. That is why he always cheats on his taxes.
Paul, it is important you realize, when you grow up and get a job, nobody will pay you to just sit around and do nothing.
That may be the case in fantasy land, but here in America we have these things called unions that were put into place to ensure that when people are at work nobody does a damn thing.
I think you need to learn the value of a hard day's work.
And you need to learn the value of how much money you can save by taking everything you need from your job. Half the stuff in our house says CUNY on it, and the other half is crap nobody would want anyway. What the hell am I gonna do with a frying pan or a box of cleaning supplies? That is like giving a Dominican kid a book or a white guy dancing shoes.